Same drive. Favre, Anthony Morgan. Another big gain. Finally, Favre hits Mark Chmura, 12 yards and a touchdown, 7-0 Green Bay, as 4 different receivers hook up with Favre on the drive. Still in the first, Minnesota's punting. Punt hits Donald Evans in the helmet. Turnover, bounces right to Jeff Brady. And the Vikings recover. Sets up Robert Smith from 4 yards out. Ties the game, 7-7. He's, at this point, not so fresh. First points the Packers allowed in the first quarter all season. Second quarter, Favre hits Charles Jordan, 5 yards and a touchdown, 14-7 Green Bay. Still second, Vikes driving. Robert Smith breaks off tackle. He's had a great year, and on this play he would pick up 28 yards. Same drive. Moon, 2 yards out, Jake Reed, and a touchdown as Moon stays up and hits Reed, 14 up, Tommy.
Well, Jake Reed and Chris Carter, as strong a duo as we have in this league. Here you see him doing battle with Craig Newsome, the corner, just fights him off, finally throws him off to the back of the end zone, comes back to the football for a touchdown.
14 all at the half. Second half, Smith out with an ankle sprain. Warren Moon having problems, misses Jake Reed. Next play, misses Andre Cooper. After 1-2 comes 3, misses Amp Lee on 3 consecutive plays. Moon throws an incomplete pass. Meanwhile, Favre, look at this effort from Mark Chmura. Oh, what a grab. Then, Favre. Score tied at 14. Dorsey, Levens, touchdown, 21-14, Green Bay. Tommy, what do you have?
Well, this is a case of safety. Orlando Thomas getting fooled by the misdirection. And this is a play famous in the 49er book, now in the Green Bay package. You see him go for the misdirection. Once you get out of position to deliver the ball quickly as Favre did.
Fourth quarter now. Moon, sacked by Reggie White. Sean Jones, touchdown, Green Bay. It's the 4th straight game Minnesota has committed 3 or more turnovers, and the Pack goes on to win by the final score of 38-21. 4 touchdown passes for Favre. That ties their career high. Favre has 39 touchdown passes in his last 15 regular season games. Chmura, 5 receptions, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown. Chargers and the Seahawks. Joe Nash sets a new Seahawks record. 201st game played, breaks the record set by Steve Largent. Got a football. First quarter, no score. Dan Humphries back in the mix. Back in the lineup, back at quarterback. Joe Nash. Pressure. Humphries, bad pass, picked off by Carlton Gray. San Diego, their 12th turnover in the last 4 games. That leads to Rick Meyer. Back to pass. Brian Blades, wide open, 41 yards and a touchdown, 7-0 Seattle. First quarter, still 7-0 Seattle. 4th and 2 for San Diego. This is a developing situation. Terrell Fletcher on a fake punt. Look at that. Number 41, 46 yards. Joey Galloway, I'm not used to tackling, but I better make the play. All the way down to the 13. That sets up Humphries to Ronnie Harmon. Touchdown. Point after block, 7-6 Seattle. Second quarter, that's the same score, 7-6 Seattle. Humphries back to work. To Tony Martin, 37 yards, all the way down to the 3, Tommy.
Well, Carlton Gray is the corner. You have to do 2 things on double coverage, either get a bump or force the receiver inside. Gray does neither here, and he's never going to win that foot race to the end zone.
So that leads to Humphries, Mark Say, hey, touchdown, 12-7 Chargers. 2-point conversion now. Humphries is going to hit Harmon for what appears to be a good conversion, but the refs rule Harmon didn't have possession. Mark Bright says, pass. Bobby Ross says it was complete pass. Don't read the lips. This is warning. Don't read those lips. We're PG here on Prime Time. Still 12-7 Chargers. PG now some special teams stuff.
Well, another good special teams play right there. Number 83, Andre Coleman, knocks the ball back to his teammates to pin the Hawks on the 1-yard line.
Watch what happens. Meyer fumbles. Sean Gale recovers. Touchdown, San Diego. So a key play. 2-point attempt failed. 18-7 Chargers. Then Means gets going, Tommy.
Yeah, people talk about his ability to only run inside. Means is a terror, whether it's inside or outside. And if he sees you, he's got a pretty nice stiff arm.
So it's Means, 7 yards out on this play, and the Chargers go up 25-10. More Humphries now. Play last week, but looked pretty good in this one. Harmon, touchdown, 23 yards. Second touchdown of the game for Harmon, and San Diego goes on to win 35-25 as the Chargers snap a 3-game losing skid. Chargers have won 8 out of 9 in the series. In the loss, Chris Warren picks up 113 yards. First time the Chargers have allowed a 100-yard rusher in 38 games. That includes playoffs. But San Diego completes its season sweep of the Seahawks. They beat the Seahawks back in week 2.
Yeah, once again, Tony Martin playing a big role. Now, those teams in the AFC West, Billy, looking up at the Raiders and the Chiefs. And the Raiders were at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, in the 70s, George Blanda rewrote everything, played way into his 40s, even played through a few passes at the age of 48 years old. It worked in the 70s for the Raiders. He came on in relief so many times. Would it work in 1995? The Raiders dusted off another 40-year-old, Vince Evans, in relief of Jeff Hostetler. Could he do as Blanda once did? Here we go. In this game, teams coming in with the opposite emotions. Colts sky high. They just beat the Niners. Jeff Hostetler on the sidelines talking with Vince Evans. And what happened? After a Colts field goal, Napoleon Kaufman. No Napoleon complex here. Gets the hand out of the vest, and look at him go. He could go. Oh, no. Wait, what a draft pick by the Raiders. 82 yards, Tom, and the Raiders in business 7-3.
Yeah, and unless a return man gets a clean lane to the end zone, the key moment in any return is when do you make the decision to cut back. Right here you see the wall of blockers by the Raiders. Kaufman has the speed and quickness to find the cutback lane, and once he gets out front, he's gone.
So the Raiders now 7-3, and Jim Harbaugh nailed by Anthony Smith and Chester McLaughlin. One of 6 sacks today for the Raiders. Harbaugh had to limp off for a while. Erickson played for a couple of plays. First play back, though, Harbaugh, boy, he's tough. Gets right back in with those high tops, throws it high and deep to Sean Dawkins. Beats the coverage for 52 yards. 2 plays later, the Marshall plan on second down, touchdown, 10-7, the Colts. And Halloween around the corner, and everybody in Oakland dressed accordingly. 10-10 game in the second half, Vince Evans. He still has a marvelous arm. I just love to watch him throw. So does Timmy Brown at 21 yards. 3 plays later, 46 yards, skyrocket to the Rocket. He had to kind of slow down under it, but it's a touchdown, 17-10, Raiders. Ed Marchibroda trying to bring the Colts back to their glory years of the mid-70s when they won the AFC East 3 straight times. He gives it to Roosevelt, pop, up the middle, draw, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, 35 yards for the big fella. That sets up Marshall Faulk. Around left end, gets a block, does the rest, tiptoeing through the tulips for a touchdown, but the Colts trail at 20-17. Raiders strike back first play after the kickoff. Vince Evans going to Rocket again. He leaps and stays on his feet and makes a beautiful cut. And look at him go. He could go all the way. 73 yards, 27-17, Raiders.
Yeah, Eugene Daniel trying to keep up with the Rocket, has to overrun the football. Rocket, a great job of coming back, getting the football, sidestepping Jason Belzer into the end zone.
And what a day for Vince Evans. The Hosses, 40 years young. I hope I can play like that when I'm 40. Vince, 335 yards passing, 23 of 35. The Rocket just caught 3 for $125. Jeff Mick Jagger had 3 field goals. They start him up. The Raiders, still the last time they've lost at Oakland, 1981. They beat the Colts 30-17. Chiefs and Broncos. Chiefs went into the day with the best record in the conference at 6-1. Oh, the weather outside was frightful. It's not Christmas yet, but in Denver and the Rockies in the middle of October, you can get this. The ball squirts out of John Elway's hands. Then John, who's used to throwing in this, another dying quail. And then Steve Bono, doesn't have you, babe, overthrows Keith Cash. Then Bono overthrows Leroy Thompson. Steve Bono starting out 0-7. So Denver says, hey, we play in this stuff. The fake handoff to Davis. Shannon Sharp. Touchdown, 10 yards from Elway. 7-0. Shannon fired up. But KC, Marty Schottenheimer, was 0-7 in this building as a coach until last year. They won with Montana's Miracle. Marcus Allen, could he get in? No. Marcus Allen. No, it's a fake to Marcus. Bono. Boy, Steve Bono with a nose for the end zone this year like we've never seen. They say his love won't pay the rent. But it's tied at 7-7. Tommy, what about Elway?
Well, John Elway had a hard time gripping the football all day. Right there, you saw he wasn't hit. He fumbled the ball off his knee.
Kansas City takes advantage after the fumble. Bono to Lake Dawson. Great catch in the end zone. The Chiefs 14-7 at the half. In the second half, the weather got worse. Marty said, let it snow. We got the lead. We also got Marcus Allen. Marcus, 10 yards down to the 30. Then Bono fakes to Marcus. When you run well, you can do. Look at Bono on the reverse. The naked reverse, and then safe out of bounds inside the 10. KC at the 1. Little history here in the snow. the 100th rushing touchdown for Marcus Allen, joining only 3 others in that club. Walter Payton, 110, Jim Brown, 106, John Riggins, 104, Marcus, 100. Fourth quarter, Denver trying to go through the snow. Elway steps up, rolls right, can't see the yard markers, but Francis Johnson sees the ball. First crafty play by Elway. Then fourth down, Elway to Johnson again. But Dale Carter picks it off, had the sure hands, had 2 picks today, Tommy. What do you have?
Well, you watch Dale Carter on Vance Johnson. You're going to see the push right there. He's going to get another light push right there, well beyond the 5-yard zone. But when it's snowing like this, you tend to get defensively the extra pushes. The refs won't call it.
Denver has the ball down by 14 under 2 minutes to go. Aaron Craver short of the first down. The Chiefs, first back-to-back wins in Denver since 1971 and 1972. With Hank Stram, Len Dawson, Tom Jackson was in college. It was a long time ago. And the Chiefs are 7-1. The Raiders are 6-2. Denver and the Chargers 4-4. Guys, you got a heck of division. Take a week off. Everybody except the Seabag. Take a break. We'll take a break too. We'll be back with Game Ball.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way everyone can save on collect calls. It's easy. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT from any phone and save.
All right, it's time for Game Balls, and I got to give it to Hugh Douglas. The youngster of the Jets had a sack. The rookie has 7 now on the season, had 4 tackles, had a big pressure of Kosar when he threw the ball away, was intercepted for the last time. Hugh Douglas of the Jets. Get.
My primetime player, Chicago defensive end John Theory, the second-year man from Alcorn State, recovers 3 fumbles all in the first half, and Chicago beats Houston 35-32. He went for the ball, so he gets a game ball. Tommy.
My primetime player, Ken Norton Jr., he of the 3 Super Bowl rings, had 2 INTs today for 2 touchdowns and 9 tackles. We'll be back.
Football League. Here we go, the rushers. 100-yard rushers, Marcus Allen, 100 touchdowns rushing on his career. He leads the honor roll. Blaney Pomaly, 120 for the Dolphins. Chris Warren for the Seahawks at $112. Terry Allen in the overtime win for the Skins. Rashaan Salam, the youngster, 100-yard day for the Bears. As for 100 to 300-yard pass, Eric Kramer on the honor roll again now with 16 touchdowns. Vince Evans, you got to love Vince Evans, and Scott Mitchell also hit the 300 list. And one other note about Vince Evans. The last time the Raiders lost the game in Oakland was 1981. Vince Evans was quarterback for the Chicago Bears that day. So here we go. All these years later, 14 years later, and Evans has a 300-yard day. We hope you enjoyed it. It was a great day. For Tom Jackson and the judge, Bill Pito, I'm Chris Berman. See you.